What up guys, Zoochz here, gonna do another video today. I just made Master in draft, so figure it's high time for another one of the draft videos. It's Saturday morning, I haven't showered yet, so forgive this. This pack is stacked, dang. Alright, so there are 5 cards I'm sort of looking at here. Hammer of Might, Amethyst Monument, Plague, Static Bolt, and Serpent Trainer. I think obviously you can pretty quickly reject all the other cards. I don't even like Twinning Ritual in general, so I don't consider this a good card. I'll play it begrudgingly. I think Plague is very strong. It's an awesome removal spell, especially against like the Elysian deck that plays a bunch of Teriax hatchlings. Amethyst Monument is strong because all the monuments are really strong. Well, most of the monuments are strong because they basically act as another card in your deck, right? So normally you're just playing 28, 29, 27 cards. This is essentially a free card that you get to play in your deck where it helps you hit your mana early on, and then late it stops you from flooding. Hammer of Might is a pretty solid card in terms of what it does. So +3/+3 is okay. I mean, it's slightly better than Crownwatch Longsword and costs twice as much. Warcry 3 is pretty solid. I think combined it's a very solid card. So I wouldn't pay 4 mana for +3/+3, and I wouldn't pay 4 mana for Warcry 3, but I think together it's a really good card. Static Bolt is a pet card of mine. Sometimes if these were like weaker cards, I might just take this just to see how many Static Bolts I can get. I think if you hit 5 or more, you're well on your way to getting a 7-win deck. And then Serpent Trainer, I think, is a pretty solid flyer. It's unremarkable in that like you'll find them later, but it's a pretty good thing to just have in your deck in general. I don't know what I want to do, honestly. I really like being in Feln, but I do not like being in Stone Scar. I like being in Elysian, and I like being in Combri. I don't really like being in Rakano. But I think I'm going to take the Hammer of Might. I like to play with rares if I can, especially for a video like this. You know, we'll see how good it is. I've played with it in the past. It's pretty solid. So I'll stick it in here and see what it does. Okay. No really good green cards. Healer's Cloak is the best Combri card, which I would like to go into if I were taking this. Other than that, I don't quite know where I want to be. So Teriax Hatchling, Sky Snapper, and Gorgon Fanatic are all kind of the same level in my opinion. I've really grown to like Teriax Hatchling a lot. I don't know whether it's better than Gorgon Fanatic, but I've definitely grown to like really appreciate this card. This is the safest pick of all. I mean, I could go Horu after all. Let's see. I feel like I've drafted Feln for you guys on multiple occasions in the past, so I'm kind of tempted to take the Teriax Hatchling just to go with it. Also, Crownwatch Deserter is a fine card. Like, Rakano is not nearly as bad as I'm making it out to be, and Hammer is a solid card that maybe we just want to play Rakano. I hate playing Rakano. So few outs to flyers. And I think I did Rakano in my last draft too. I'm gonna take the Teriax Hatchling, I think, just to explore something new. God, this card's so good though. In like this in the Rakano deck, I think. But again, I don't like drafting that archetype. Well, maybe we could draft it just to maybe redeem ourselves from last time, because I think we went 2 and 3. Let's try that. All right, Inspire is a pretty solid card. I'll note here that Tundra Explorer is an okay card. Twilight Raptor is kind of late. I late. It's the third pick. I like this card a lot. All right. Bright Mace Paladin is, I think, an insane card, as is Finest Hour. I think in general, I'd prefer to have the first Bright Mace Paladin or the first Finest Hour because of the fact that this guy can just win a game for you if you load up on him. Whereas like just a regular old trick it's okay, but it's not great. I don't know. They're so equal in quality. It's so early to know what we want. I want to take the Paladin because I like loading him up with weapons and stuff. So I don't really love Battle Burst Centaur. It's okay. I think I'd prefer to have the Flyer, frankly. Like this guy it's a 2/5, but a 2/5 isn't all that great in the world of Eternal Limited sometimes. Like it gets eaten by any of the time dinosaurs. It gets stonewalled by just about everything. Whereas this comes down early and it can hit hard late. So let's take this and then maybe keep an eye on Combri. Like we've only got this Crown Watch Deserter. Who knows what we're gonna take? I think I'm gonna take the same pick again. And it's worth noting that we could just very easily go into Combri if we drop this guy, which is another reason why I don't really want to take this Battle Burst Centaur. Like I don't think this guy's good in the first place, but the fact that we might not even be in Fire is enough of a push for me to take this Valkyrie Aspirant, which I like this card. I think this card's a solid one drop for Justice. Okay. Privilege of Rank is a fine card if you have a bunch of high drops, which I don't really want to have. I'm gonna take the Tower Top Patrol just to sort of hedge our bets. Like this is an okay card. If I'm in Combri, I kind of want to have Karmic Guardians instead of Tower Top Patrols, but we'll see. Ooh, hello. Combri Healer is very good. Inspire is also very good. I'm going to take the Healer. This card's really solid, and I get the impression that we might be in Combri rather than Rakano. Especially with that going so late. Golly. Okay. Get in here. Let's take Stalwart Shield. I like this card, although we have no 2-drops right now. But I don't know if we're in. I still don't know if we're gonna go in time. This pack leaves a lot to be desired. Okay, we do kind of need to make a decision here whether we're going to go into Fire or whether we're gonna stay with time. I don't think I need a third of this. I don't like either of these two guys, nor do I like either of these two things. I mean, this would be better if we had like 2 Karmic Guardians already, but we don't. And it doesn't really get anything out of our deck, so. We could take the Amber Acolyte with the intention of splashing these two guys. But I think this is a much better card in a vacuum, so I'm going to take the Furnace Mage and sort of just see where we go. I might end up really regretting not taking this Amber Acolyte, but we'll see. Pooh. And what's even worse is that the only Justice card was taken out of the pack. Well, I guess it was the rare. Oh, I'm not really interested in Renegade Valkyrie. I don't like that card a lot. It could be okay, but it's sort of a meme card that you take if you have a bunch of like rampages and other heavy hitting pump spells. I'm gonna take the Amber Acolyte now. I regret this pick prior because we could have splashed these Crown Watch Deserters or something, but I don't really like this card. It's okay, but we can get them late. This is a better pick in general. All right, I'm going to take the Katana. I know I'm going back and forth between time cards and fire cards, but I think that's fine at this point in time. Ornate Katana is a solid pickup. It cycles, so it's never dead, and if you get a bunch of pumps on it, like with Warcry, it's pretty incredible. So, all right. So I have grown to really respect Flight Lieutenant. I don't know as if it's better than Granite Acolyte or Argenport Soldier, but this card's an uncommon, and I think we can pick either of these other cards up, or like a Horn Vorlock. And if we're gonna play as Rakano or even Combri, you need something to push through damage, or this guy does it. So let's get in our deck, buddy. Ooh, hello. Where were these cards? I've taken either of these cards over like either of the last 3 picks we had. I think I want a Finest Hour. We do need some tricks, and we don't have any right now. So, yep. Ooh, this is a good card. Longhorn Sergeant. I like this. Any creature with Warcry I think is very powerful, and this one gains you life. It makes weapons even better. It can attack usually because it has a big toughness. Yeah, get in. Okay, so right now we have exactly 0 2-drops. So as much as I'd like this Magma Javelin, and maybe I ought to just take the Javelin, even though we have no 2-drops, because we can fill the 2-drop slot out with, literally any stranger. Whereas we kind of do need removal for stuff like flyers. Man, we do need 2-drops though. I'll take this 2-drop and we'll pass on the Javelin. This is not a very good card, but I just want something to interact with my opponent's board. But I think it's not nearly as good as where it needs to be. All right, none of these cards are going to be played, so take this Initiative of the Sands. Field Captain is so mediocre. I'm going to take the Granite Acolyte. I think I could do some work on a Valkyrie Aspirant, or even like a Bright Mace Paladin, just getting in some damage. Field Captain really is hit or miss. I think you need some ways to give it evasion via like Elder's Feather or Morning Star or Rampage for it to be a good pick. Detain for a potential trick if we need it. Man, this pack is bad. This pack is real bad. This pack's real bad. Ugh. Oof. Man, this pack sucks. I don't think I want a third Valkyrie Aspirant, but who knows? Maybe I do. My initial thought was Runic Revolver, which is not really a card I like all that much, but it can be really good with a bunch of war cries. I think we just need the Pyrodept, honestly. It's so underwhelming, but it's a 2-drop that we sort of need to like stave off our opponent's, Lethrai Rangers or something like that. So I'll take it begrudgingly. Reliquary Raider is very good. It's not very good. It's pretty good. Is it worth splashing? I think the answer is yes. It's better than this card, and it's better than this card, so get in the deck. All right, here we go. Finally a good card. Auric Sentry is pretty insane. Similar to Longhorn Sergeant, the fact that it has a big butt is great for having Warcry, so get in the deck. I am going to take another Crown Watch Deserter. I really like this card. I know we have a glut of 3-drops right now, but I think this is better than Argenport Soldier. Warcry is just such a powerful ability. I'm tempted to take the Ornamental Daggers, but I'm going to take the Desert Marshal. We might be splashing for a couple white cards here. Mithril Mace, I think, is better than Field Captain. It's a removal spell, and with some Warcries on it, we can bash people's faces in. I think Finest Hour is better. The second Finest Hour is better than the second Mace. Like, we're going to be attacking a lot. I need to be able to attack through stuff. I don't foresee us playing another Desert Marshal, but we could. Is Argenport Soldier better than a Stone Scar Stranger? I know for sure Rakano Stranger or Combri Stranger would be better. This just fixes one color, but potentially fixes another. Let's just get some of these junky cards out of here and reassess where we're at with our... I'm going to keep the Rebuking for the time being. Probably don't need both of these Desert Marshals. I'm inclined to take the Stone Scar Stranger just to fix our mana. I don't think the extra point of power is going to be worth it. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll regret that decision turns and turns from now when I end up needing a third point of power and just do not need the fixing. So, but well, I think this is better just because it fixes our mana. Boop. Ooh. Well, we'll take another Mithril Mace. That was kind of a gift. Felt like this is definitely a gift. Holy cow. This is also a gift. I so want to take this card, but I don't think you can pass Flame Blast. This card just wins games, so get in here. Ooh, Comrie Stranger. Yeah, better than this guy. Like we just said. This card's not very good. This card's fine, but I think I'd rather just have the Bright Mace Paladin. Do we have how many weapons do we have? Got 1, 2, 3. These kind of are 4, 5. I'm gonna take the Bright Mace Paladin still. I like Paladin a lot. Another Finest Hour is a great pickup. Torch is a great pickup. Wow. I don't think we're gonna play any of these, so I'm just gonna take this guy. Minotaur Grunt's incredible pickup. Wow, we're moving. We're moving and shaking. Oh wow. Another Ornate Katana? Yeah, oh, this deck came together. Alright, I'm gonna build the deck and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, we're back. I'm not quite sure whether I built this correctly or not. First of all, I'm playing 46 cards again. As I've said before, that is really not that big of a deal to me. I'd rather get the sort of ratio of mana correct, and 17 felt like too many lands, and 16 felt like too few. So I just split the difference and added a 17th land on 45 cards, or 46 cards. I am playing a very, very aggressive build of this deck. So we're sort of like playing a bunch of 1-drops. And then we're playing cards like Rebuke, which are designed to just let us push through damage. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe Rakano just in general needs to aim to go for the long game so the Warcries have a chance to take over. Like you win on the back of a huge dude. But we've got 3 Finest Hours and 3 1-drops. It just felt correct to want to be really aggressive. Let's see, what cards are we not playing? We're not playing any of the time cards. First of all, it didn't feel like the splash was worth it. Like we're already trying to not cut some of these cards. Reliquary Raider and Desert Marshal, they seemed okay, but I didn't want to stumble on mana. Magma Javelin is a card we're not playing, which that's the one card where I look at it and I say, is this a mistake not to be playing this card? We just want to bash dudes out of the way. It's a removal spell. It's an expensive and fragile and semi-effective one, but I don't know. Like, we could be playing it over the Rebuke maybe, but it just felt like, I don't know, this was cheaper and would do the job just as well, like 50% of the time. So, and we're not playing Flight Lieutenant, which the reason we're not playing that card is because it costs 7, and like our deck stops at 5. Like we've got 2 5-drops and that's it. I don't want to play a 7-drop and then have to hope for another land, right? That's literally half the lands in our deck, so we'd have to be really, really having the game go long for that guy to work. So it didn't seem like he fit the game plan here. Like I said, I think this is fine. The card that I really don't know about is the Magma Javelin, and I think maybe it's better than Rebuke generally. I don't really like Rebuke in general, but I think this is a good Rebuke deck because we're so aggressive. Like, we just want to keep applying pressure, and this lets us remove a blocker for 2 turns and play something else at the same time, or like deal with a troublesome flyer that we wouldn't otherwise be able to deal with. I don't know. We'll see. And it only costs 2 mana. So, well, join me for the games in another video.